Hello and welcome to Ask Peter Shaw. Gareth has written in to ask what fears I have. Thanks for nothing, Gareth. I was really looking to avoid this type of question, but since you asked, here we go. Mine is a needle phobia, and the time has come to take care of this once and for all. I've had many other fears over the years: fear of talking to girls, fear of looking stupid, fear of heights, and I've got past all of those things, public speaking, and this is the last one remaining. So it's time to go. So as some of you know, I'm going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in just a couple of weeks, and I've been doing my very best to avoid the yellow fever injection that might be required. The first thing you always do is you lock it in. So I did that. I called up the doctor and they've got a spot for me straight away. Great. And so I'm about to head down there, and I just want you to see how quickly this all comes about. The second thing is, I know exactly what's required here. I need to be in a relaxed state. But first I need to give you a little bit of history. So I've got a big scar here on my arm, which some of you will have something similar from where I was a kid. So I always thought my phobia of needles came from when I was a small child. So I called my mother up and asked, and she said no, I was the calmest baby. I didn't mind the needle at all, even though it was a really big one. So that's not where it came from. And then I've got a scar here over my eye. I had 3 stitches. A rock was thrown at me around about the age of 8 or 9 or 10. And apparently when I went to the doctor there, they put in the needle very close to my eye, and it didn't bother me at all. But I remember in high school we were meant to go for a series of injections, and I can still distinctly remember avoiding that situation entirely and never having those needles. But I remember that feeling of terror being there. So I have no idea where this came from. This continued on through my teen years. I would just avoid any injections or anything like that. In my 20s, of course, I just simply didn't go to the doctor. Problem solved. When I was 20 years old, I needed an operation on my toes, so I went to the podiatrist. They were going to give me a local anesthetic, and did so. She put the needle in my toes, which was fine, except that then I passed out, started convulsing, and woke up about 45 minutes later, white as a sheet, not really knowing what had gone on. Apparently I'd convulsed so hard that the lady with the needle in my foot, the needle had been flung to the other side of the room. Needless to say, this contributed to my phobia of needles. I went on avoiding needles in my life. So, it's come to today. I'm just a couple of weeks away from going to Mount Kilimanjaro. I need the yellow fever injection, otherwise they won't let me through the necessary countries. So, important things. I called up, I locked it in. Then comes the programming, which is what I'm about to do now. I'm going to go down and film this so you can come along with me and see how it goes. My programming that I'm doing is basically so that I'm totally relaxed, and so that, you know, afterwards everything goes fine. So here we go. I'm on the way down to the doctor's now, feeling all right. And I think that certainly in previous times I would have felt a lot more worried about what's about to happen. So we'll see how we go. See you soon. That's what the rest of my family is on anyway. So.
Now relax on both sides, alright? I'll teach you a trick. Okay. Deep breath in and blow out. Smile to the camera. How was that?
That's fine.
It's not so bad.
So that's it. So I'm done and driving home, and I'm actually driving with the arm I just had the injection in. It was totally fine after all of that, after some 19 years of avoiding injections. Turned out to be totally fine. And I think that's the big lesson there. You've got to lock it in, do your programming, and then do it. If it's scary and exciting, do it. That's the whole point. So thank you, Gareth, for your question. Thank you, Mount Kilimanjaro and South African Airport, for forcing me to get an injection, get over this phobia, and now go on. And I can't think of too many more that I would have. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Looking forward to seeing you all in the UK and Ireland and Hong Kong very, very soon. Have a great day, and I am too. Actually, I do have another fear. 4 out of the 5 doctors I just saw in the doctor's surgery were overweight, and 2 out of 2 pharmacists were also overweight in the chemist. I think that we've got a really big problem here that needs to be addressed. That's a big fear, and it's one on a national scale. So let's set about sorting that out.